Hello, clever people, and welcome to my review for The House. So The House stars Amy Poehler, Will Ferrell, and one other guy I'm forgetting, and it revolves around the story of two people, suburban mom and dad, whose daughter is about to go off to college. She just finished high school, and she was accepted to Bucknell University. So what they're trying to do now is raise enough money for her to go to college. Unfortunately, they're very low on money, so they decide with their friend to open a private casino that will happen at one guy's house, and basically word of mouth will sort of spread around and everyone will go there, and they'll make tons of money, and basically it's them making money while other problems are happening. They get involved with the gang. There's just a whole lot of stuff that happens with The House. And honestly, I wasn't excited for this movie. It kind of looked enjoyable, but I never thought that we were going to get a good movie out of it. It looked kind of crummy, but I went into it sort of thinking it could be a fun time in the theater, and I came out basically with, it was lower than that. I wouldn't say this was a fun time, but it does have some of that like guilty pleasure enjoyability, that goofiness that like SNL has, Saturday Night Live, or a lot of other comedies similar to this have. The biggest bummer of this is that it's not funny. The House has so many jokes that go on and on and on, and it honestly felt like they were trying too hard. They do the same thing as Ghostbusters, where they have a lot of improvised comedy, where they basically just set the camera down on the actors and have them act out a scene. Like a particular scene that I basically know is improv because of the bloopers that they show afterwards, where Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler are sitting at their desks asking for a raise, and those scenes were completely unfunny. They were short, sure, but they were completely unfunny, and afterwards I learned they were improvised, and that made sense, because improvisation does have a place in cinema. Unfortunately, it's that comedies will end up becoming lazy because they think, oh, we don't need to write a script, we just have funny people. And because of that, they don't have an outline of where they should go. They could go off in any direction and get as sane and balls to the walls as they want to, and most times it just doesn't come out funny. And that is the biggest bummer of The House. I wanted to laugh at this movie. I laughed a couple times, and that's not good for a movie that's trying to constantly have humor. Most of the film is just shenanigans. It's just them going and doing crazy stuff, and unfortunately, shenanigans became unfunny in cinema about 10 years ago, but it seems like more now than ever before that you're getting more and more films that purely focus just on shenanigans as a way for comedy, and those don't work. And another issue with The House is that it doesn't do enough with its premise. First off, the premise does sort of feel like it's really short, and it's stretched out across 90 minutes when it could be like a funny 20-minute, 30-minute short film. But unfortunately, they sort of don't go in the direction that they should. They don't even, when setting up the casino, it happens in a matter of like 3 minutes, and that should have been a good 20 minutes of the movie. Them setting up the casino, getting certain things that they need for this place, and also spreading word of mouth, getting it so that other people could learn. All you know is basically how people get there. But they have like 50 or 60 people showing up. They have tons of people, and it didn't make much sense, because how would have they heard of it? And how did the word not end up spreading to a policeman? And it's certain stuff like that. They could have gone in so many other directions that would have been more entertaining and would have made it better. Now, I can't say that I was in pain or that I hated The House, because again, it does have some of that guilty pleasure enjoyability, and I think that may have come because I saw it with a couple friends, and just seeing the movie with them was fun. Unfortunately, the movie itself was not quite that way. And also the performances in this movie, they were good, they were alright. The best part is that they weren't annoying, because with the characters that they're set up with, they could easily become irritating in a moment's notice, but thankfully they don't. They're just they're enjoyable characters. They're fun to watch on screen. They're nothing great, the acting isn't great or anything, but the characters are alright. And honestly, The House, it's just, the main issue with it is that it's not very funny. And when a comedy isn't funny, it's just something that exists. It doesn't really belong to a genre, it doesn't really belong to anything, it's just out in the aether existing. And for that, I will give The House a 3.5 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for The House. What are your thoughts on this film? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.